Hey guys, Stay Patient here. Now recently I put up a video talking about a sale on the European store, and a lot of you US residents were disappointed that you didn't have a similar sale on your store. Well, Narniac kindly messaged me yesterday and mentioned that there was a flash sale that had just started on the US store. So I'm going to do a quick review of it now. We've only got a couple days of the sale left. In fact, it ends in 2 days, so you've got about 48 hours to have a look through this and pick up anything you want to play. Now, there aren't as many games on this sale as there were on the European one, but the prices seem better, so I guess it swings in roundabouts. If we look at each console in order, we're going to focus on the PS4 games first. Now, the first one that stands out to me is Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor Game of the Year Edition. Now, just to point out that the Game of the Year Edition of this has a separate trophy list to the normal version. So if you're playing the normal version and you're thinking this would be a cheap way to buy the DLC because it comes with all the DLC, then just bear in mind that your save file won't carry across from the basic version to the Game of the Year. So the great thing about this obviously is the fact that you can stack the platinums, you can earn the trophies twice, but you won't be able to carry your save over. So just bear that in mind. But if you've already played the game and 100%ed it or platted it or whatever, then you can pick this up and do so again, because it's such a great game. I wanted to play it multiple times. It's absolutely awesome. It's a fairly easy platinum. It starts off a bit tricky. The game seems tricky to begin with, but then as you level up, it gets easier and easier. And there's nothing really that will hold you back from the platinum, although the DLC does have some very tricky trophies, so just bear that in mind if you're determined to sort of 100% every game you play. Infamous Second Son is a nice easy platinum, and it's fairly quick as well. For an open world game, it's only going to take you sort of a maximum of 15 hours, I would say, but it's possible to do in less time than that. $8 is a good price. In fact, both these games are $8 each. And especially for Shadow of Mordor, that's a very good price because the Game of the Year edition was holding its value for a long time. It was very expensive. And Infamous Second Son, $8 is roughly £6 or so. So that's a good price as well. And it's incredibly fun too. Maybe not as good as Shadow of Mordor, which is an absolute classic, but they're both enjoyable games. Now, Monster Jam Crush It is the first proper easy platinum on this list. $8 is a good price because, again, it was a game that was holding its value for a while. It was almost priced like a AAA game at first. So $8 for a 3-hour long platinum. It's not a great game, so you're pretty much paying for the trophies on this occasion. If we keep going down here, I'm just going to focus on the standout games, really. Oddworld New and Tasty is a great game. This is a sort of basically a remaster or a remake of the original Abe's Odyssey on PS1. Now, it stands out to me because it's not a difficult platinum. It's kind of average, but anyone would be able to get through it. You just need to sort of know what's required, maybe follow some guides where needed. But the reason this stands out to me is because it's very rare. So if you're looking for an ultra rare platinum for your collection that isn't too hard to earn, then New and Tasty is an ideal choice. We've got a few interesting games here, but nothing that really stands out trophy-wise. So let's move on to page 2. This is still the PS4 stuff. We'll have a look at the PS3 stuff in a moment. We've got The Little Acre. This is another super easy and really ultra quick platinum. In fact, it's one of the fastest on the PS4. I do have a guide up for it on my channel, which will show you how to get the plat in 1 hour. You can complete the whole thing in just an hour. And even if you fail the speedrun trophy, you just need one more playthrough, so it will be 2 hours at max. But yeah, it's a fun game as well. So $5.19 isn't a bad price considering the fact that it's actually enjoyable as well. You're not going to be just slogging through for the trophies. It's quite a nice little game to play too. We've got King's Quest, which doesn't have a platinum. It's an easy 100%, and it does have a lot of PSN points because it's 5 episodes. So you've got nearly 1,000 trophy points, whereas a platinum is only 1,200. So it's almost as rewarding as a platinum. Nice and easy, and it's going to take you probably around 15 hours to complete all 5 episodes. Keep going down here. We've got an easy 100% that you can also get on Vita, although the trophies are shared, I believe. 149, it's a super quick and easy 100%, no platinum there though. We've got Adam's Venture Origins, which does have a platinum and is still quite overpriced. This is one of those games, a bit like Monster Jam Crush It. It was released at a very high price, as if it was a full AAA game from one of the big developers, but it very much feels like an indie game. It's not a bad game. It's basically puzzle based. It's almost like an Uncharted if Uncharted was just puzzles. There's not really any combat in it or anything. But like I say, takes about 3 hours. You may need to follow a guide for some of the puzzles if you want to speed through it nice and quickly. But definitely a choice for you big trophy hunters out there. Let's keep going here. We've got Cabela's African Adventures. I think that's kind of a medium difficulty plat. It's not quite as easy as some of the sort of hunting games, but I think it's only like a 4 out of 10 maybe. I recommend checking out the guide for that because I don't know the game very well myself, so I'll leave it with you to kind of gauge whether you want to pick it up or not. The Swapper is super easy as long as you follow a guide. If you don't, it's actually a very hard game. It doesn't have a platinum, so $3.74 isn't a bad price, but you're only getting a 100% trophy set. You actually don't even need to complete the game to earn all the trophies though, so it's nice and quick as well. It will take about an hour, maybe 2. Broken Age is one of the point-and-click adventures. You know, they're all pretty straightforward, aren't they? But this one is maybe slightly trickier than the average point-and-click game because of the speedrun trophy. A lot of people struggle with the speedrun, and so bear that in mind if you're deciding whether to buy it. But to be honest, most of you probably already have it because I think it was free on PlayStation Plus not all that long ago. Lara Croft and the Temple of Osiris is a fun game. It's quite a lot to spend for a non-platinum trophy set, just a few, a couple hundred trophy points. But yeah, it's a fun game. If you're looking for some 100% trophy list to add to your account, it's going to take a bit longer than games like The Swapper and what was the other one? 3/4 Home. But it's worth playing, I'd say. It's quite fun. Submerged as well, I think that was received fairly well. Another non-platinum game, unfortunately. But $8, again, it's probably a lot to spend for just a few trophies. But it looks kind of fun. I haven't tried it yet, but I do plan to at some point. Okay, guys, so that's the PS4 sale. We've got some key titles there. Adam's Venture, The Little Acre, and what was the other one? Monster Jam Crusher, that's it. Now, if we just go back into the sale again, we'll take a quick look at the PS3 games. There's only one page here. So if you don't have a PS3, then you can just ignore this. We're going to have a look at the Vita ones in a moment as well. But we've got a few here. We've got one of the older Monster Jam games, which I think takes a little bit longer than Crush It, but is still an easy platinum. Toy Story 3. All those Disney games are easy, of course, and a lot of them, they're really expensive to buy on disc because I guess they didn't print a huge number of copies of them, but then they realized that a lot of people want them for the trophy, so there's kind of, I guess the supply doesn't meet the demand. So whenever you see them for sale on discs, they're pretty overpriced if you ask me. So $5 for one of these. Some people will tell you that Toy Story 3 is trickier than the average Disney games. I have done it myself. I can't really remember. I can't remember if it was tough or not, but I doubt it's going to be like actually difficult. It probably just stands out to people as being, taking maybe a little bit more skill than the other ridiculously easy Disney games. Contrast was kind of fun. That was a nice atmosphere. No platinum, but only take a couple of hours, I think. Cars 2. This is another one of the Disney games. $5 again. That's a nice cheap price. It takes, I think it's around 8 hours or so. And it's not unbelievably easy, but it's pretty straightforward. I think it's a 3 or 4 out of 10. If we keep going here, Whitetail Challenge. I just looked this up earlier because I'd never heard of it. But if I remember correctly, it takes around 6 to 10 hours and is a straightforward platinum. One of the many hunting games that they seem to be pumping out these days. We've got the Heavy Fire bundle here. This is Heavy Fire Afghanistan and Shattered Spear. Both these games are super easy and they can both be done in just a few hours and they both have platinum. So this is an ideal collection here. $5 for 2 plats. You could probably earn both of them within a day if you're spending all day on them. Another Lego game, a Lego game, on offer here, $5. I think Pirates of the Caribbean is a bit quicker than your average Lego title as well. I don't think World Hunter has a platinum. There's African Adventures again, we mentioned that a moment ago. I think it has a separate trophy list on PS3 as it does on PS4. So, if you've already done it on one of the consoles, then why not pick it up on the other? Although it is a bit overpriced here, especially for a PS3 game. Mag Runner is a game I did a long time ago, and it seemed to drag on a bit. I think it's like a 6 to 8 hour platinum. It seemed like it took longer than it did, but when I look back, I realised that it had been pretty quick. With all things considered, and it is a fairly straightforward platinum. It's not going to pose you any real issues, although some of the puzzles are a bit fiddly. Magus, this is one of the easiest platinums of all time. This is just a ridiculous game, and it's one of those games that you kind of want to experience because it's just so bad. It's almost like the novelty factor makes it worthwhile. It's basically a shooter, but rather than shooting weapons, you're shooting magic out of your hands, and you're moving around quickly, and literally that's all you can do. There's no skills or anything, if I remember correctly. It's just literally shooting. It's almost like a twin-stick shooter, but it's, I think it's third person, if I remember correctly. But this is literally going to take you just a few hours. It's super easy, and for $1.99, this is it's just a steal of a platinum. And like I say, you might enjoy it at least briefly just for the experience itself, just for being able to say that you've played it and laugh about how bad it is. Let's keep going here. Split Second was fun, not particularly easy, and I wouldn't recommend picking it up now because of the online trophies. Brothers is a nice, easy, 100%, no platinum, but it's a really enjoyable game, and it's got a really novel control scheme, so I do recommend checking it out if you don't mind spending $4.50 on a game without a plat. We've got Oddworld again here, but the trophies, just to point out, the trophies are shared between the PS4, PS3 and Vita. So don't go buying a second version of this thinking that they'll stack, because they won't. I think the same goes for the Swapper as well. It's only one shared trophy list. Anyway, if we go back, guys, and take a look at the Vita games, I don't think there's actually really anything of note on the Vita, but we'll just double check. I did look earlier, and I think most of them are games that you can buy on the other consoles that we've already covered. Games like Retro City Rampage, that's a shared trophy list, I think, but there's no platinum for that. Then we've got, a lot of repeats here. Pirates of the Caribbean, Oddworld, Split Second, which I didn't even realise you could buy on Vita, although I think it's a PSP game, isn't it? So they've kind of re-released it on Vita, probably doesn't have any trophies. And yeah, more repeats here. So there you go, guys. The sale might not be as good as the European one, or at least not as extensive, but I think the prices are pretty good, especially on the AAA games such as Infamous Second Son and Shadow of Mordor. I thoroughly recommend Shadow of Mordor. Is unbelievable. It's one of my favourite games of all time. It's one of the best and most accomplished games on PS4, with a kind of AI mechanic called the Nemesis system, which is absolutely brilliant. And other games really need to start employing it because that's like the next evolution of games, I think. It's so clever, so well done, and it really helps you tailor your experience of the game to you personally. Every time you play through a game is going to be very different. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you can pick something out of these sale lists that you'll enjoy, or that you'll be able to earn the trophies for. I'm going to catch you tomorrow for the weekly trophy update. Until then, have a great weekend. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you very soon.